Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share something very interesting with you about this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I have found this book very useful in my life. Now I can say that's a solution to all the problems which we have in our life. So today I'm going to share one of the interesting chapter from this book which names The Secret to Self-Control. Are you interested to know what's the secret to self control? Then, before starting, I would ask you to like and comment in the comment below what do you believe that what can be the answer about to self control. So without wasting time, let's get started. First of all, I will read from the book and then I'll give my point of view and then I'll ask your point of view in the comment below and then we will analyze how we can apply this in our real life. So let's get started. So James Clear says the secret in the chapter Secret to Self-Control that in 1971, as the Vietnam War was heading into its 16th year, Congressman Robert Steele from Connecticut and Morgan Murphy from Illinois made a discovery that stunned the American public. While visiting the troops, they had learned that over 15% of US soldiers stationed there were heroin addicts. Follow up research revealed that 35% of service members in Vietnam had tried heroin and as many as 20% were addicted. The problem was even worse than they had initially thought. The discovery led to a flurry of activity in Washington, including the creation of the Special Action Office of Drug Abuse Prevention under President Nixon to promote prevention and rehabilitation and to track addicted service members when they returned home. Lee Robbins was one of the researchers in charge in a finding that completely upended the accepted beliefs about addiction. Robbins found that when soldiers who had been heroin users returned home, only 5% of them became re-addicted within a year, and just 12% relapsed within 3 years. In other words, approximately 9 out of 10 soldiers who had heroin in Vietnam eliminated their addiction nearly overnight. This finding contradicted the prevailing view at the time, which considered heroin addiction to be a permanent and irreversible condition. Instead, Robbins revealed that addictions could spontaneously dissolve if there was a radical change in the environment. In Vietnam, soldiers spent all day surrounded by cues triggering heroin use. It was easy to access. They were engulfed by the constant stress of war. They built friendship with fellow soldiers who were also heroin users, and they were thousands of miles from home. Now I'll read by myself. I'm not going to record all of this, and then I'll let you know the main thing which writer is expressing here. So basically what the writer says that there is nothing something about self-control. It's all about having a good environment. If you want to become a good person, then there is nothing something like that self-control, because you can for a short term you can control yourself. But if you are in an environment where there are wrong people around you, and the environment, if the environment is like that which is totally opposite of those rules and regulations which you want in your life, then it's impossible to be a positive in that environment. So what's the role of self control in that kind of situation? That's absolutely correct, because if you have a bad environment, then you cannot control yourself. So it's not about controlling yourself, it's about changing your environment. And I surprised when I read this. Here is the punchline: you can break a habit, but you are unlikely to forget it. Once the mental grooves of habit have been carved into your brain, they are nearly impossible to remove entirely. That means there isn't any way to remove that bad habit from your mind, because the only way is just to change your environment. That's why there is an example here in the book that many people who were in the bad situation for a long time, they were doing bad things, but once their environment changed, they started to do the good things by themselves. They didn't do any self control. It's just because of the environment. So that's why, and that matters, that simply resisting temptation is an effective strategy. It's hard to maintain a zen attitude in a life filled with interruptions. It takes too much energy. In the short run, you can choose to overpower temptation. In the long run, we become a product of the environment that we live in. To put it bluntly, I have never seen someone constantly stick to positive habits in a negative environment. That's what I said. So those thoughts, I found them very interesting. Those says, if you can't seem to get any work done, leave your phone in another room for a few hours. If you are continually feeling like you are not enough, stop following social media accounts that trigger jealousy or envy. So the thing is only that if you, whatever you want in your life, just make your surrounding like that. There isn't anything like self-improvement. If you are in a bad environment and you are trying to do good things, that's impossible. So in order to do good things, your environment must be a positive and similar to those things which you want to achieve or you want to do in your life. So I hope this will be helpful for you. Let me know what you learned from this. Was it new to you or not? And I will highly recommend you to everyone to read this book. It's very useful, and you will find it once you purchase it and start reading by yourself. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, share and like, and also comment what did you learn from this video. Bye-bye.